You check the lock on the door for the third time tonight. You move the cup back on the table because it wasn't sitting exactly where it's supposed to sit. You text your partner, "Text me when you get there," and then again if there's no reply within 5 minutes. And you call this being organized, detail-oriented, caring. But honestly, this isn't about order. This is about an anxiety that's lived in you so long, you can't tell it apart from your own personality anymore. Compulsive control isn't perfectionism in the usual sense. A perfectionist wants things to be good. You want things to be predictable. The difference seems small, but it's fundamental. Perfectionism is about quality. Compulsive control is about safety. Picture a child living in a house where the rules change without warning. Today, Dad's in a good mood, and laughing loudly is fine. Tomorrow, that same laughing loudly gets you yelled at or ignored in silence for the rest of the night. The child can't predict which version of the adult they'll meet today. And that's when the mind finds the only exit available. If I can't control them, I'll control everything I can. The order on the shelf, the schedule of the day, my own behavior down to the smallest detail. This works. In childhood, it genuinely saves you because even a small piece of structure in the middle of chaos gives the illusion of ground under your feet. But here's the trap. A brain that learned this strategy at 6 years old doesn't get a notification when the conditions change. It keeps running the same protocol at 30, at 40, whether or not there's an actual threat right now. So now, when your partner is 10 minutes late without an explanation, your body doesn't react like it's a minor inconvenience. It reacts like something irreversible is about to happen. Your heart speeds up. Scenarios flash through your mind. Your hands look for something else to check, to move, to straighten out. This isn't about your partner. This is about the child inside you who learned unpredictability equals danger. Researchers who study children raised in unstable households describe this through a concept called hypervigilance, a nervous system permanently tuned to scan the environment for signs of threat. A hypervigilant child can't relax because relaxing means missing the moment they'll need to react fast. And that same hypervigilance, the one that once protected you from an unpredictable adult, now turns into a need to control every element of your surroundings, your partner's schedule, the order in the kitchen, a coworker's tone of voice. There's another layer to this that rarely gets talked about. Controlling the outside often compensates for a lack of control on the inside. If, as a child, no one could stabilize your emotions for you, no adult who said, "I'm here, it's going to be okay, I'll help you calm down," you learn to soothe yourself through external order instead. A clean room becomes a substitute for the emotional regulation you never had. That's why a messy space isn't just an aesthetic annoyance for you. It physically feels like a threat to your internal balance. This is why, when someone disrupts your order, moves something out of place, changes a plan at the last second, breaks a schedule, you don't just feel irritated. You feel something close to panic, like the ground is shifting under your feet. Because for your nervous system, outside chaos literally equals the inside chaos that was once unbearable. And a partner living alongside this often experiences it as distrust or as excessive control over them. They're not always wrong. Compulsive control really can become destructive in relationships when care turns into surveillance and love starts getting measured by how well someone follows a schedule. But it's important to understand, this isn't driven by some desire to run another person's life for the sake of power. It's driven by a frightened part of you that still believes, if I don't control everything, something catastrophic will happen. So if this is really about a frightened part of you trying to prevent catastrophe, the question is, what actually helps? Not more control. Something different. First, name it in the moment. When you feel that urge to check, fix, or rearrange something, pause and ask, is this about the object in front of me? Or about a feeling I don't want to sit with right now? Second, practice tiny, controlled discomfort. Let one small thing stay slightly out of place. A cup, a schedule, a plan changing by 10 minutes. Notice the anxiety rise and let it pass without fixing anything. Your nervous system needs proof that disorder doesn't lead to disaster. Third, build your own internal soothing, separate from external order. Before straightening the room, try placing a hand on your chest and saying, I'm safe right now, even though this feels uncomfortable. This slowly teaches your body a new source of calm, one that doesn't depend on everything around you being perfect. Fourth, separate care from control in your relationships. Ask yourself honestly, am I checking in because I care? Or because I need to know exactly where they are to feel calm? Naming the difference out loud, even just to yourself, creates a small gap where choice becomes possible again. Fifth, give your partner or the people around you room to do things differently than you would. Let a task be done wrong without correcting it. That discomfort you feel isn't a sign something bad is happening. It's just an old alarm going off in an empty house. None of this makes the anxiety disappear overnight. But every time you tolerate a little unpredictability without collapsing into control, you're proving something new to that frightened part of you. The chaos you once lived through is not the same as the life you're living now. And you no longer have to control everything to finally feel safe.